Assalamu alaikum, y'all. So today I wanted to make a video about the elephant in the room, finances. So how does one not only be able to fund their hijrah, but what are some financial tips in order to make hijrah a reality? So stick around as I share 11 financial tips to help you just in general everyday life, or if you want to make hijrah, stick around for the bonus at the end. So, in no particular order, number one is tie your camel and trust Allah. Just know that if Allah sees you making the effort and you're doing your part, He will also deliver. And this is where the real tawakkul comes in, just allowing for the process to be. Number two is living below your means. This means spending less than what you earn. So just because you got that $5,000 bonus that year doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go buy something that is way more than that $5,000 bonus, right? Delaying gratification. So even though we may be able to afford the bigger house, the nicer car, but keeping your eye on the goal. You have to remember that if you want to make hijrah, you may not be able to enjoy all the stuff that you want to enjoy right now. But once you make hijrah, everything's at your fingertips. Number three is building a hijrah fund. So this can apply to anything that you really want to save for, but specifically for hijrah, creating a separate savings account where you are putting money there for your flights, your visas, your housing, and emergency expenses that may come up. Number four is increasing your income. So before you move, find ways how you can earn more. So this can include promotions, freelancing. If you have a skill, starting a side business, a side hustle, learning new high income skills that make you more marketable and really have people wanting to pay you more for whatever you offer, right? And anybody that has made hijrah knows that hijrah equates to hustle. Number five is avoid getting into any new debt, specifically avoiding riba. And I'm not here to give a fatwa or to judge anybody, but the reality of it is when you want to make hijrah, you don't want to get yourself into any loans or any debt that is going to delay your hijrah, especially riba, where we know that it just compounds and it just gets bigger and bigger. Number six is learn global skills. Build skills where you can use them anywhere. Some of these examples include software, design, marketing. A lot of the girlies that make hijrah, teaching, specifically English or Arabic, writing, consulting. There's a lot of freelancing websites now where you can make money while you live overseas, but you got to have those skills. Number seven is build an emergency fund. So we already talked about the stash already, right? That we were going to have specifically for hijrah. So now this is another stash for an emergency. So save about 6 to 12 months of expenses. So no matter how much of a planner you are, just know that Allah is the best of planners and unexpected things will come up with hijrah. That's just the reality of it. And you don't want to get caught slipping or potentially have to either delay your hijrah or, not make it at all because you don't have the emergency fund. Number eight is know where every dollar goes, also known as budgeting. And I know we hate budgeting. I know, I get it. But there's so many apps out there now that make it so easy to budget. And a lot of the major banks have, you know, tools where you can see where most of your money is being allocated. So if you're really not good at, let's say, budgeting or whatever, my advice is putting money away to the side that goes to savings first and then just using the rest for your living expenses and then anything else that you want to put it in. But at least we know that the bulk of the money is going to our savings. Number nine is invest in yourself. You are your greatest asset. I'm going to say that again. You are your greatest asset. So investing in yourself can look like going to university and getting that high income degree, learning new certifications even after you've gotten that degree, right? Learning a new language, right? So I have Arabic on here, but just learning any language that is a high need, right? So Spanish, Chinese, learn new professional skills, right? Business skills. Skills compound for life. So when you invest in yourself and you spend that money, you got to look at the return on investment. The more marketable you are, the more you can make your resume look different from the next person's, is worth it. Number 10 is avoid lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. And I've touched on this before, right? So every year when you get that raise, it's not an excuse for you to try to get that bigger house and get that nicer car and get more luxury items. what people seem to forget now is freedom is the new luxury. Being debt free, that's the new luxury. So, and I know it's hard sometimes when you see that new bump in your paycheck, and we get tricked into thinking that we can afford better things or newer things, but that's all going to delay your hijrah because you have a goal here. And the more money that goes to Louis Vuitton and the Gucci's and the Pradas, that's money that's not going into your savings. And number 11 is our bonus one, my most favorite one. And I think the most important one out of all of these tips is giving sadaqah. Sadaqah is a means of cleansing our wealth. It's also a means of putting barakah in our affairs. So Allah does not decrease our wealth through charity. If anything, it multiplies, and you're giving Allah a good loan for which He promises that He will multiply it. Sadaqah is really the secret sauce. So I pray that you guys found benefit in the tips that I had to share today. Let me know any other financial tips that you would like to share in the comments below. Assalamu alaikum.